What's going on, everybody? It's Pokemon TCG here, and today we're doing a review of Pokemon Showdown. It's a Pokemon game just like some of the other ones that you see, like Pokemon TCG Live and some of the other ones. I was actually asked by some of my viewers to do the review on this game, so here we are doing a review on this particular game. And also, I just wanted to let everybody know, quick disclosure, I am by no means an expert in this game, so do not take anything I say as foolproof advice or foolproof strategy for this particular game. So I'm just doing a review, my opinions, my thoughts on the game, whether I liked it or not, whether I think it's a good game, and whether I would recommend it to other players. So here we go. One of the first things I wanted to talk about was the combat in this game. So the combat in this game is very similar to your other basic Pokemon games. You select your Pokemon, you swap them in and out of the combat, and then you also basically play against random players that come in. They have their own set of Pokemon, you have your own set of Pokemon, and you just battle it out like you normally would. You have your normal abilities. There's some other options you can do in the battle as well, which is a timer option, which gives you 2 minutes and 30 seconds to basically, if you're AFK, to come back to the game, or you will forfeit the match. So that's just some of the basic things about combat. Combat is essentially very simple, very straightforward, not a whole lot to talk about there. Another feature that I wanted to discuss was actually the options that you have and how to play, so what different eras of Pokemon you can play. So there's tons of different eras of Pokemon you can play. There's the current ones, there's the ones from years ago, there's so many different options you can choose from in this case. So in that respect, the game is pretty thorough. There's definitely tons of options, whether you're a fan of old Pokemon or new Pokemon. There's definitely a lot to choose from in this game. So there's definitely nothing lacking there. Another thing that I wanted to discuss was about these options. So there is an option to create a team on Pokemon Showdown, and what I mean by creating a team is, so Pokemon Showdown gives you an option to choose your own Pokemon, choose their own abilities, choose their own items, battle items, and so on and so forth, and essentially create your own whole custom team to battle against other players. So the cool thing about this particular feature is that you can actually go in and you can select their abilities, you can change their stats, you can change all kinds of different things about the game. So it's a pretty interesting feature. One thing also I wanted to note on the combat side of this game, it is pretty quick. It is pretty quickly paced when it comes to getting in and out of combat, and it's also turn-based. So every player takes a turn. It's not a simultaneous kind of situation where each player casts an ability and the Pokemon executes it. It's all turn-based, so one player attacks, and also if you have items that speed up your attack or your abilities, those will go through first before you continue on doing anything else. So anyway, as far as the actual CPU players go, or there's not really any CPU players. It's mainly other players that are either new or quite good at the game. So you may run into some people that are a lot better than you right off the bat. So the learning curve for the game is a little steep starting out, but after that it gets a little bit easier, and it just gets a little bit more relaxed when it comes to figuring out which Pokemon to use, which ones not to use, what options you have as far as items, what items are useless, which ones are actually good. There's just a lot of different things that you can do in the game, and there's a lot of different options as you will learn pretty quick as you move forward through the game, as you progress, and as you just keep moving through and figure out what all you have to do. So anyway, one of the other features I wanted to discuss real quick when it pertains to the combat is that there is a option to actually so there's an option to skip, there's an option to forfeit, there's an option to do a couple other things in regards to ending combat and things like that. That's a pretty cool thing where you can skip, you can fast forward, you can kind of rewind. There's other, you can do spectator mode. There's a couple of different things that you can do when it comes to the combat side of this. As far as the stats wise, so here we go. So there's the other things that we can do as well. Choosing the stats for the Pokemon. So there's obviously attack, speed, defense. A couple of different things you can do when it comes to making your Pokemon stronger, so you can adjust things, you can bring things in and out, and this will be shown throughout the video. So the audio, it's recorded over top of the video, so there's going to be it's going to go just to different points of the video throughout, so that way you can watch the video, you can look at some of the content while you're actually listening to the review. Also, the stat bars are basically just like any other RPG. You've got your slider, you go from left to right, you increase the points, you get 300 points starting out, and then you increase the level of attack, defense, special attack, special defense, speed, whatever else other abilities that you have. You have these options to go ahead and strengthen up your Pokemon before the battle. So you can do that in a customization menu. You can also adjust the items. There's actually a bar at the very bottom when you scroll through the items menu that shows you which items are good, which ones are not good. There's items that you are actually benefiting from at the beginning of the game, whether you single-use items. There's a lot of different options when you're going through the list of these different things. Also, there are leaderboards, there are different tournament sections you can go into, and one cool thing I thought about this game too is I'd like to mention to you guys is there is a section for forums that is built into the game, which I think was a really cool feature. So that way you don't have to go into a browser and you can to go search for builds, to go search for advice, to go talk to other players that play this particular game. And I think that feature is really great because it takes away an extra step when you're playing games. Because me personally, when I play games, I don't like to get out of the game and then have to go to all these different areas to try to figure out strategies, to try to figure out stats, to try to figure out all these different things when it comes to the regard of this game. So I think it's important to really note that having that feature built into the game is a fantastic way to get people to be able to have a one-stop shop when it comes to a particular game they're playing, or to get any kind of information, or to just basically in general just have information at their fingertips regarding a game that they're playing, or whatever the case may be. So another cool feature that I liked about this game is the fact that you can actually go through and you can edit your own settings in your account settings right there and then on the right side of the Pokemon, of the actual panel of the game. But the downside is that there's one thing that I didn't particularly care for too much, was the fact that you could not make this thing full screen. It is just a single window in your Windows, and you basically have a little tiny window in the top left of the screen that shows you the combat, that shows you that's just pretty much the battle window. That's just one of the main things that I really was a little bit frustrated about when it comes to this game. But outside of that, that was just my main concern with this game. So another feature I wanted to discuss was it tells you how many users are online, how many are active battles are going on. Also, you have a filter option to filter rooms, and you've got chat rooms, you've got different sub rooms, you've got options of news. You got a news window that gives you all the current news that are going on. You can watch battles, you can find a user just like you could in like Xbox Live or PSN Network. You can just type in a user's name, you can find them, and you can also battle them that way. One of the things I wanted to do is talk a little bit about just the options of team building, and you've got your reload items files. You can restore and back up all of your teams. You can reveal team folders. So there's a lot of different things that you can do when it comes to how this game operates, and it's basically you can select different anything goes. You can select a different category. You can select Sword and Shield, past gens. You can select B2, W2 singles, draft, pet mods, national decks, SV doubles, generation 4. There's all kinds of different options that you have when it comes to building a team and creating Pokemon in this particular game. Also, you can import and export teams. So there's an import and export team button, which I think is great because it lets you import and export teams into the game. So I think that's fantastic, and it gives you an option to find team combos on the forums, and utilize other people's combinations to battle others, and to try out different team combos and different Pokemon combos. So this, I think, is a kind of a cool feature. Anyway, so kind of wrapping up the video, yeah, so this, I would definitely recommend this game to other players, especially ones that are looking for something that to kill time and to be able to kind of learn about the Pokemon game, learn about the kind of nostalgia of being able to play different generations of Pokemon. And also it's great for just learning in general, about learning the names, learning their types, learning about kind of a little bit of everything about that particular Pokemon. And I think that's great for beginners, especially people that are just getting into the hobby or have really no experience with Pokemon prior to that particular moment. So I think in that respect it's great, and I think it's a tool that you can be utilized for other people, as far as veterans as well. I mean, there's a lot of different things that I don't know, and there's a lot of things that I know other people that I know don't know. So there's a couple of different things that you can get from this game for sure. Another thing I wanted to talk about was real quick before we end this video was, this game is definitely something that has a lot of potential, especially if it adds more features. One of the things I'd like to see in this game, I think, would be an actual feature to select different battle modes instead of just doing a single battle mode. That is something I would definitely like to see. And if I am able to select the type of battle mode I want and how I want to do battle and how I want to battle against others, I think that'll be beneficial to have that option. So that way it's more diversity in the game, and people love to have options. The gamers love to have options. Also, Pokemon fans are extremely hardcore when it comes to certain things and whatnot. Also, make the window a little bit bigger on the left side. That would be one of the biggest things for me, is that window, man, it's so distracting having other things on the side of the screen that you're looking at the same time while you're looking at the screen. So I don't really know what else to really discuss about this game too much, except for I definitely love the features. I definitely like the variance of different options that you have. It's also great as with the amount of things you can really use or do. So yeah, it's definitely a great game. A lot of opportunities, a lot of room for improvement. There's definitely a lot of growth potential for this game. And there's I think it's going to be great, and I think people are going to really enjoy this as it progresses. So yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I really, guys, appreciate you letting me do this review of this game. I would highly recommend it to other people. And there's also some pros and cons I wanted to kind of go over real quick of this game. So the pros are, it's fast-paced, it's lots of features, unique, tons of options, fun and nostalgic. Some of the cons are steep learning curve, some Pokemon OP, some features are pointless. Seems to be okay. It seems to be an AFK problem and needs to have more battle options. So those are just some of the things that I have that I've kind of have listed as some of my pros and some of the cons. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Definitely subscribe, hit the notifications, give me a comment section below if you want me to review another game. Once again, thank you guys so much for giving me a chance to review this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much.